Hello everyone, this is Animation4 and welcome to 18 Bugs and Glitches in Minecraft 1.8. It's a pretty lengthy list, so we're going to get started right away. When you fire a bunch of arrows at the side of a dispenser, or consequently a dropper, and then you power the dispenser or dropper, regardless of whether or not there are items inside, the arrows will fall a little bit and change angle, and they get kind of confused. If you depower it, they completely fall off. If you put lava underneath, you can see that they will fall into the lava. Putting a bunch of slime blocks next to each other creates the occasional lighting bug, which is especially viewable in F5 mode. Furnaces have a unique data tag called CookTimeTotal, which is supposed to be the total time it takes to cook the item. It defaults to 200 when you put an item in it. If you put an item in and change CookTimeTotal to 0 or less, the furnace will not cook at all. On the contrary, if you set this to a small value, usually somewhere less than 50, like 20, the GUI will get a little confused and start freaking out quite a bit. Yeah. It's still there. When you retract a piston or sticky piston in any direction, the piston head will have a quite little visual glitch where it'll appear to be already retracted. If you turn music on and wait for music to start playing, and then you turn music off, it's still playing. It only works if you turn music on and then back off again. If you summon an Ocelot with a movement speed of 0, it won't move, but it will create particles underneath it from the block it's on whenever it's trying to run away but can't. See, its tail is extended when it's trying to run, and it's creating all kinds of particles even though it's not moving or even taking a step. I'm going to create a scoreboard objective called sword, and it's going to be achievements.build sword. This works for any crafting based achievements, crafting non-stackable based achievements at least. Sorry, I got to set display sidebar to sword so you can see the current count. Obviously I haven't done it yet, so it's not going to be there. I craft a sword and you can see it gets set to 1. However, if I craft the sword, again, just to clarify, it does go up by 1 every time I craft a sword. If I shift click the sword out of the crafting table, the sword goes up by 2. The score goes up by 2. So do it again, it goes up by 6. And that works for any non-stackable crafting achievements, no matter what level you're crafting, even if it's a diamond sword, or hoe or pick. I think those are the achievements. When setting the world border center, center is misspelled. C-E-N-T-R-E. Yeah. No explanation for that one. If you look up at P, you can see the current particle count. The barrier visibility works on creating a particle in the middle so you can see that particle. But a single barrier block, most of the time, will create more particles. I've seen it go up to like 16 before. You can see more than one particle just from this one barrier block. The particles are stacking. When it comes to trying to light the side of a block with a flint and steel, blocks that aren't flammable, it just flat out won't work. If the block is flammable, however, you can light the side of the block on fire. However, if there's a block underneath the block that is flammable, try and light the side of the block on fire, it will instead light the ground block on fire. If you note, whenever I place this TNT, the fuse is going the same way every time. But when you summon when you turn the TNT into a falling sand, look at the fuse, it rotates. This works for all falling sand blocks, the top texture, and I can't tell the bottom texture on TNT. Well, I just can't see it from here, but I'm just assuming it does too. Whoa, it's a dupe glitch. If you are in creative and you have items in your inventory and you use Q to drop the items, I hit Control and Q to drop them all, you open up any block entity's inventory, the items will reappear. I don't know what this is about. Basically, they get duplicated quite a bit. These are real items. This is the first time I've actually seen them get duplicated twice. But it works if you just hit Q. See, now I have only that many. Now it's fully stacked up again, and I can pick these back up. It only works in creative though, so don't go trying this, because it won't work unless you're in creative. While in spectator mode, and you spectate an entity, you're meant to follow the entity's facial rotation. However, these mobs don't track facial rotation. You can see I'm not rotating as the witch moves their head. Same is true for Blaze. The head doesn't match up. This is actually supposed to be from the back, so this is supposed to be the back of his head, but I can see the front. It's just he happens to be rotated the right way. And see, back of the head. Zombie Pigmen. None of them track head rotation in spectator mode. The sides of iron bars, the textures don't reach the end of the block, no matter how you look at it. See, this one, the entire bar doesn't match up. On this angle, it's just that one side that doesn't match up. That's from every angle on every bar. That's just on one side. I have two maps right here, and I'm both going to make them to the same spot. I'm going to take this first map, I'm going to put it in, surround it by paper, and I'm going to click it out. And as you would expect, the map is now scaled out. However, if you were to do the same thing, here's the second map, and you just shift click the map out, shift click, see it used up the paper, the map is not scaled out. It's exactly the same as it was, scaling at 1 to 1, as opposed to that. You can see it does have an NBT tag. If you put it in a chest, the NBT tag does say that it is scaled out, when it actually isn't, and its visual data doesn't show that. What? Creepers on peaceful? No way. So if you start a brand new world, and you go into options, and you set the difficulty to whatever, and you lock the world difficulty, you can see it's locked, and then you change dimensions. So I'm just going to construct a quick nether portal. And you change dimensions. And dimension loads. You will see that difficulty is at what it was set to, but it is now unlocked. However, this is purely a visual thing. So if there were creepers, there are creepers in your nether, and you setting it to peaceful does nothing. The difficulty is still normal because it is locked. It is just a visual thing that it isn't. And if you were to come back here, it's unlocked. Lock it again. Go back to the nether. It's unlocked. Lock it. Even if you were to lock it to peaceful, it would unlock, and it would still be at normal difficulty, even though it would say it was peaceful. So the last thing I have is, if you have a stack or less of stackable items, so I have 64 diamonds, put them into 2 stacks so that the total doesn't go over 64. You open an anvil, you shift click the first one in, then you shift click the second one in, you end up with a stack of 0 diamond, a stack of 0 of whatever. And this item will occasionally stay with you. So it actually looks like I have a stack of 0 diamonds. You can see it in my hand. You can't throw it. And if I were to open an inventory, it disappears. And that's it. That's 18 bugs and glitches in Minecraft 1.8. So if you liked the video, you can click the like button down below. Let me and everyone else know that someone likes what I do. And also as a reminder, for any YouTube video you're watching, there's always that button in the bottom corner. That's right, it's the full screen button. Really enhances your viewing experience. Make sure you click that when you watch any video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.